When we had last left Harrier Dubois, he laid down and rest, and had the final dream at last. This is Disco Elysium. Welcome back. Do you like that? Keeping it like eerily short? Ooh, I don't know. Very cool. You know, I was thinking so much about the fucking final dream, right? Like, part of me wonders, like, how fucking reliable could it be? Like, you know? I don't know. What are my shoes at the moment? Am I wearing the fucking Falm shoes? Yeah, I am. Look at that. I still haven't changed out of them. Jesus, what a dingus. Realized I wasn't wearing my brogues. There we are. But yeah, so much, I wonder so much how much of that is, like, actually truthful, or from, like, very much Harry's perspective, right? Like, even things coming out of her mouth are still from Harry's perspective of the entire situation, right? I don't know. Because she seems almost like, at some points, like, cartoonishly vile, right? I don't know. And parts of it seem like really unexplained and shit, with, like, what the hell Harry exactly did to her that made her become a worse person, right? We just don't know enough specifics. Okay, geez, I'm walking around in circles. But yeah, it's been on my mind a lot in between recordings here. Is thinking about, and I guess maybe we'll never know. Maybe it will always be up to player interpretation, like how much abuse in the relationship was on her half, and then how much was on the half of Harry, or was coming from Harry versus coming from Dora, right? How much was the split, right? I don't know. Okay, let's interact with this thing. And how much of that dream was him trying to come to terms with him being, like, abusive toward her? Not necessarily, like, physically abusive, because it didn't seem like that, but maybe, right? We just don't know. But it felt more like emotional abuse, right? I feel like maybe that's a good pick, because it's, I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but it'd be very difficult to sympathize with someone who was, like, physically abusive toward their partner in a relationship like that. I don't know. That said, it would be an interesting twist to pull, like, this late into it after we have sympathy for Harry and all that, right? Oh, I don't know. But that's part of the fun of it, right? Is that it gets you to think about this shit, and at the moment, even if it is answered later, at the moment we're experiencing this period of the game where it's very much open to interpretation, and we're wondering about, like, the true nature of their relationship, right? Because, of course, the main plot isn't progressed by those dreams or anything like that. It's very much exploring, like, the interpersonal, I don't know, the psyche of Harry and where he was and what kind of person he was, and maybe what kind of person he should be moving towards, like what kind of person he should be trying to become, or whatever, or revert to, right, depending on how you're playing, huh? Okay. Felled insular console. Green paint flakes off the monoblock aluminum cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard. What is this, then? Now, let's run our fingers first. The keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been functional in decades. What is this, then? The console of an antique computation device. The lieutenant points to the wires running into the machine. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here. Could this open the blast door? Sorry, let me adjust my mic for the lieutenant. I think. Yes. He points to the emergency dial switch. That one. The emergency open. There we go. Turn emergency open. Turn light interior. Slide radio dial. Yeah, let's do all these other things. Radio dial. The dial slides under the glass, dark and silent. Restoring electric power has not breathed life into it. Push light interior. Hey. The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle, a dim, ambient orange. Turn emergency open. Ooh. The blast door opens with a small series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in. Very cool. I know we said it before, but I love how, like, whenever there's an interaction animation, everything is so, like, exaggerated. Or, like, I don't know if it's even exaggerated. Well, yeah, sure. But it's made such a focal point. Like, it seems like the game almost freezes to make you just, like, soak it in or whatever. So good. Half-Light, easy success. A sudden wave of anxiety makes your skin crawl. Shivers, formidable success. No. It's more than that. There's something there, waiting. Task complete. Open the blast door. 10 XP. After you. The lieutenant gestures at the opening. Before, outside, when we were walking across the sand, I felt someone watching me. So did I. Not back there, but I felt it since we came here. What's there? Point to the door. I don't know. Shivers, easy success. A thin wisp of smoke rises from a charred black fire pit. The wind picks up, then dies down again. I'm scared. Don't be. He takes out his sidearm, checks the barrel, then holsters it again. I have a gun. I also have a gun. I know. It was not easy to acquire. I wonder what would have happened if he was with us when we did all that, right? We ended up not even... No, yeah, we did need it during the final confrontation, didn't we? Yeah, we very much did, because it was our gun that he took from us and used to defend himself in the final moment. I shouldn't say final confrontation, the big confrontation. The confrontation. At least so far. Let's go. Good lord. I do kind of love that this is also here, right? Which, as we established, looks like Harry in a way. So fucking weird and cool. Alright. Let's bring this open. What do we have? Stuff complete. Looks like. Down here. Spirit. Eternal. Oh, we never clicked on that, I guess. Down here. Secret passages. Who made the call reporting the crime? Weird. Okay. Let's do a quick save. Alright. Should we take some healing stuff? We may as well. It feels like we're at the end of the game. Let's top ourselves off. Psyche. Walk slow. It might be dangerous. I know we just quick save. I did it again instinctively. Alright. Yeah, notice as well. Our rest. It didn't heal us up, right? Alright. God, I'm so worried about, like, something fucking happening, but I shouldn't be, right? Because if we get into combat, then we'll have interactables, right? We're not just gonna, like, it's not like a first-person shooter where I'm just gonna, like, get sniped, right? God, that would be terrifying. Could you imagine that? That happens, and then you switch to control the lieutenant? Alright, Psyche Orb. Small white flowers blossom all around you. Oh shit, like the ones that Clausia had. I forget. What is this? A tire? rubber dinghy. It's deflated. Broken. Good lord, I gotta turn it down a little bit. I turned it up a little bit, and now I'm regretting it. Let's see. Let's turn down this bit. We'll just turn everything down one tick. Okay. There we go. Oh shit. There's a dude. Is that the gun? Yeah, it looks like it. The deserter. An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Perception sight, medium success. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp. Empathy, medium success. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything. Are you the fire guy? You've retained your eyesight. Did you close the blast door? Nice gun you got there. Sir, I need you to put down that gun so we can talk further. We're with the police. I'm with the police. You can keep the gun, but keep it down. Not one move. Proceed. I'm sorry for disturbing you. Goodbye. That's wild. You can just turn away? What the fuck would even happen? Maybe you can come back or something. I don't know. Are you the fire guy?
The what now? I can't hear you.
He cups his ear. Did you recently tell 2 kids to put out their fire? 2 twins.
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around trying to give up the position. Fire guy, regressive bourgeoisie henchman, can't even talk like a grown-up.
Huh. You've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight, yes, helps me see all this shit.
He clears his throat. Half-light, easy success. A shudder of disgust passes his right side. His left side remains motionless. Did you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
He breathes out with a wheeze. I fueled the generator, then used the console.
I should have burned that console down.
He shakes his head. How did you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music playing on the water.
Right. He gestures north.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
But you didn't say that, Kim. It was not rock and roll. It was sad FM. It was not reactionary. It was cool. Say nothing. But you didn't say that, Kim.
I did.
Rhetoric, medium success. We have entered a world where he said you shouldn't. It is the only world. I love that, because I'm pretty sure he really didn't, right? But essentially he won an authority check on me. Alright. I very much like that, though. It's very much like if you're in a relationship with someone and you're very close, sometimes you know that they're incorrect about something, and they say otherwise, and you say once, like, you didn't say that, and then they're like, no, I did. And you're just like, okay, yeah. And you both kind of know, but you just, like, you bow to their authority. All right. It was not rock and roll, it was sad FM.
Sad FM, huh? I always hated that station. Phlegmatic, counter-revolutionary dirges. Sadness is a mental illness, a weapon of the bourgeoisie.
Dude, was he a revolutionary? But he was also a deserter, according to his text here.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate, hip, gyrating mental illness music.
Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice, it's a piece of shit. Gets the job done.
He shrugs. Is that a Bell McGraw? What make a rifle is that exactly? Is that a Bell McGraw?
It's a Dragon 446.
A Sumerian rifle? How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Xinyao commune. Military aid.
He pats the rifle. The Xinyao commune.
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from a board.
His gaze turns inwards. Is this the first time we've ever heard of the Xinyao commune? Maybe we heard about it at the very early game, but I didn't retain it because it didn't come up too often. Huh. Okay. I wonder if he'll listen to me. Maybe we shouldn't tell him to put down the gun, right? Because he might get angry. He doesn't seem like he's ready to fucking get me, right? I'm with the police. You can keep the gun, but keep it down. Not one move.
No.
Ooh. The lieutenant aims his pistol square at the man's head and says,
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're going to blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway.
There's a moment's silence.
It's out of bullets.
The old man lays the rifle down, carelessly, then looks at it, lying there. Pain threshold, easy success. Like an amputated limb in the sand. Pick up the gun lying in the sand. Who are you? What have you been using this gun for? That's it for now, old man. Stay put. I think we can exhaust all of this. Let's start from the top. Pick it up. His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire. Inspect it closer. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Trigong 446mm, made in Xinyao. It's as he said, it's a Trigong, made in Xinyao. No one said it has to be a Bell McGraw. The lieutenant does not take his eyes off the old man. We were just guessing. Visual calculus. From ballistics, it could easily have been a Trigong too. It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. And it does. A little redundant, but we'll say this uses jacketed ammunition. 446. The right type and the right caliber. The lieutenant nods, glancing at the gun. Empathy, easy success. He's liking this. Stow the gun, conclude. The old man keeps following your motions with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. Rhetoric, easy success. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It can be used against him to get a confession in time. Who are you?
My name,
He looks across the water, then back at you.
is Yosef Ilyanovich Dros, political commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
His eyes turn to the reeds again, dead and dull. The commune of Revachol. The lieutenant forgets to close his mouth. Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the
Insulindian Citizens Militia, the Army of the Revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in École de Contrôle, Ariane, and consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen, still armed and ideologically trained. I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
How long have you been on this island?
43 years. No.
He looks into the fire. A wisp of smoke rises from somewhere between the charred logs.
I've been on other islands too. I was on Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was,
He thinks.
22 years ago.
Again, you've been hiding here for 43 years? You said you deserted your unit? What is this place? This island? How have you survived all this time? How have you concealed yourself all these years? You said this is your termless surrender? So you're a communist soldier from the communist army. Huh. Alright, it's no bullet coming through the pale, right? But it still kind of checks out with my idea of themes, right? This is literally a dude who survived from the war, right? From the past of this place, who is, in a way, still haunting it to this day, right? Huh. Interesting. Alright. Again, you've been hiding here for 43 years?
43 years and 10 months.
That's insane. That's steadfast. That's the length of my entire life. I don't even know what that is. Ooh, is that the length of my entire life? 10 months as well? That's the length of my entire life.
It's too long. It's not how a human being should live.
He grimaces, clearly in pain.
But I couldn't just forget what I saw.
Volition, medium success. He just couldn't. You couldn't give up. He nods. But he can now. What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
He looks across the water. Shivers, easy success. Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue des Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. streetlights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks, and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Altocumulus clouds form above Precinct 41. Esprit de corps, medium success. 2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite Officer Jean Vicmare inspects a series of burnt, black letters splashed across the plaza mosaic. Huh. So they're still on the scene? They're still here in Martinez? Because those are our burnt black letters. That's wild that there's even reactivity there to that, right? Not only is it a check, but there's reactivity within it. Patrol Officer Judy Mignot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smoldering. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting.
The old man turns his eyes from the shore and back to you. For what?
For her to return.
Her who?
Girl-child revolution.
Girl-child revolution? I'm afraid she's gone. She better come. I too have given my life to Mazovian socioeconomics. I dare not dream anymore. Nothing in history is guaranteed. But revolution is still a possibility. I kind of want to go with this one that's reactive to my thoughts, right? To my thought cabinet. Let's go with it. I too have given my life to Mazovian socioeconomics. He'll probably think that's a little too highfalutin, right? That's some, like, New Age bullshit or whatever. Oh, I see.
A waste.
He blinks his black eyes.
The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. A historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore. However hard I try, whatever I do.
Suggestion, medium success. What has he done? Perhaps a confession will lighten the load. This is not the time to push. What have you done then? This is not the time to push. I want more out of him. There we go. Okay. The old man suddenly looks around confused. Oh.
What can I do? What is there?
You said you deserted your unit?
I was just 16 years old. 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith.
He clears his throat.
And of courage, too.
Lapse of faith?
You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took.
For what?
For reaction to take hold.
What's reaction? It wasn't reaction. You were just afraid. Yes, we all have a tiny bourgeois person in us trying to run away. And one was this exactly. What's reaction?
Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men.
It wasn't reaction, you were just afraid. Well, let's go with this, because this also seems like reactivity for us, for our character. Yes, we all have a tiny bourgeois person in us, trying to run away. He does not seemingly react to what you said, only his right brow moves a little. Rhetoric, medium success. Fair enough. This is not the first time we've gotten this. Rhetoric, medium success. He does not believe a police officer is genuinely revolutionary. And this was when? The lieutenant instinctively looks to his notebook, but does not take it out.
May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago.
He looks north.
The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds. Storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic.
Dark magic?
The combined might of international capital. All at once. All the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower.
He gestures toward it.
Huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away, in Ozone. But I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
He looks east. Authority, easy success. A terrible shame still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became. You didn't go to the map room. What then? Huh. You didn't go to the map room. Oh, never mind. My mistake. I read too deep into it.
No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland. In the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak, a mouse. Frightened of the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring, this.
He looks at the sky. What was that?
Airships. I climbed out.
He closes his eyes.
In hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too. Shattered. They'd all drown in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction.
He opens his eyes and stares right through you.
It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Half-light, medium success. Some kind of great terror. Worse than you've ever seen. Seen what?
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone. Everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world.
He's silent for a second.
You see the fear and power in their eyes. Then you know.
What?
that the bourgeois are not human.
You've lost your mind. I've always suspected the same. That's definitely enough now. Say nothing, let him finish.
Ooh.
I'm torn between 2 and 4 just to hear what the fuck else he has to say, right? Let him finish.
I had to. I had to fight it. I had to never stop.
The old man falls silent. His black eyes keep piercing your skin as he looks to some great distance behind you, shaking his head slowly, retreating from it. What is this place? This island?
It's not an island, droid.
Is that how you say that? He looks around.
It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol, and I am its last surviving defender.
What was it used for?
The congenitally deformed King Philippe II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing, against the whole world.
You mean the landing? Retaking of Revachol?
Coalition military called it Operation Death Blow.
He winces.
I later found out on the radio they called it Death Blow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
First, I'm not one of them. Coalition military. Someone who's come to end this madness. Murderers. I know what you mean. Tell me something else. Can we exhaust all of this? Maybe. Let's start from the top, because I'm kind of okay with saying that as well. First, I'm not one of them.
Sure you are. You're RCM. Answer me. Who calls an operation against 50 million people Death Blow?
Murderers. I know what you mean.
You don't know. You haven't seen it.
He shakes his head slowly.
Iblis.
Iblis? Iblis?
The black-eyed angel.
He nods. How have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive?
He looks at his worn, running shoes.
I steal.
What do you steal?
Supplies, vegetables.
He winces.
I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
He coughs once more, then puts his hand on his belly. How is your health, Mr. Dross? Mr. Dross? Did he give us a name? Did I sequence break or something? Did I miss his name?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
Wow, very, very Inland Empire, very Twin Peaks that he would mention beetroot, huh? Visual calculus, medium success. He does seem frail, gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer. The RCM can provide medical services.
you need to be looked over. I need to die.
A droll smile stretches across his mouth.
You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
Electrochemistry, easy success. You also have Dramamine. We have Dramamine and other opioid-based painkillers. You must be in pain. A light goes on in his eyes. He smacks his dry lips.
I have been running out of that stuff.
Pain threshold, medium success. There's no way he could manage the pain without them. It's safe to say he is addicted to painkillers by now. Oh, that's so cool. Because not, like on a meta sense, in like a world-building sense, this guy in a way represents a part of the past, right? A part of the past that's admittedly, like, perhaps at one point well-intentioned, but now has, like, become so detached from current reality, right? And has, despite the detachment, has still had an impact on, like, the current goings-on and, like, affected the lives of innocent people, probably even people that his old self would have agreed with, right? But not only is he all of that, right? Sorry, I'm getting too deep into it there. But isn't he also the future? Isn't this guy in some ways who Harry could become? Right? Or maybe I'm just, like, only focusing too much on, like... Well, no, he's gotta be, right? Yeah, he has to also be, like the ghost of Christmas is yet to come or something like that, right? You like that Dramamine, don't you? Dramamine, even.
It's the little joys.
A crooked smile appears on his face.
A dark joke. A sunshiny day. Morphine.
This is a serious situation. You need to be looked over, and we can do it.
There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine, moribund.
How have you coped mentally?
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Ears missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of...
His eyes roll into his skull and back.
I don't even know what. Inferno.
Nod appreciatively. I also live in hell. I also have holes in my brain. Point to your head. You notice the lieutenant is about to say something. Oh, fuck. All of these are so good. But I have to hear what the lieutenant is about to say. I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors, it's better to live alone. It's better alone.
He nods toward Martinez.
I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on. More and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
He looks down at his shoes, his face parched from the sun and the wind. There's a wince of pain in there somewhere. Empathy, easy success. Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on? Very good line from empathy, I think. How have you concealed yourself all these years?
It was hard in the tens.
He shakes his head.
I didn't have partisan training, and they were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds.
He closes his eyes.
Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Coal City were turned to dust.
He looks south.
But Jamrock, Faubourg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Mazov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol were still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them.
He shakes his head.
Soon they all went silent. Their frequency's dead.
How did you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy.
He nods toward the deflated tire in the reeds.
I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols. You lot. The commons, too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground.
From bunker to bunker.
He nods.
Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted.
He falls silent. His gaze fixed on the shacks huddled together across the street. Why don't you just walk there? The weapons cache under Sankey's Lane 22B. Point to it. In the basement. Have you been there? There's a small bunker under the Feld building. Have you stayed there? One more question. Do you smoke Tiomutiri cigarettes? Tell me another thing, conclude. I think we can exhaust all this. Let's do it. Why don't you just walk there?
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
Empathy, easy success. He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing. The weapons cache under Sankey's Lane 22B. Point to it. In the basement. Have you been there? He looks at you, then pulls the raincoat tighter around his neck.
Oh, you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Bill McGraw's right.
They were. They were damaged beyond use. I love this as a line to him, right? Let's say it. They were damaged beyond use.
I know.
So, you've been there. 5 XP.
Sleeping.
He coughs.
Some nights, ammo scrounging on others. Those McGravs were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
Visual calculus, medium success. You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across. There's a small bunker under the Feld building. Have you stayed there? 5 XP.
The propaganda bunker.
He coughs.
I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
Killed themselves? God, almost poetic in a fucked up way. that the person we met under there in current day shared their fate.
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them.
He stares at the ruins of the felled building.
No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins on the ground.
One more question. Do you smoke Tio Muturi cigarettes?
I do.
He coughs. Ever smoke them on the mainland? Point to Land's End. 5 XP.
They're good.
He nods.
Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
Tell me another thing. Conclude. The old man looks across the water. At the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it. You said this is your termless surrender.
Go with the RCM.
He waves in your general direction.
The coalition appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
We're not coalition appointed. We just try to help people. That's right. We're with the good guys. We enforce the law. We keep these animals from killing each other. I know what it looks like, but I have secret plans to turn the RCM into a Mazovian revolutionary unit. We're with the RCM. Let's leave it at that. So these are our political alignments here. I know what it looks like, but I have secret plans to turn the RCM into a Mazovian revolutionary unit. I'm the big communism builder still, huh?
Rock and roll posturing.
He stares at the embers, then into your eyes.
You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, Le Parti Communiste d'Insuline. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I've relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
His hand shakes and he breaks into a coughing fit. Perception sight, medium success. A spray of blood from his mouth. On the black charcoal in the fire pit. Rhetoric, medium success. Renee, the royalist on the coast said. Oh, right, of course, Renee. Huh. You never signed the Revacholian Instrument of Surrender. Before that, tell me. Let's go back. Before that, tell me.
What?
The old man looks up. The whites of his eyes are pale yellow. So, you're a communist soldier from the communist army?
No, I'm not a soldier. I'm an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
But you said you were trained and assigned to the Defense Corps. Understood. You were trained and assigned?
Trained.
He nods.
In historical materialism. Then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
Wait, what does a political commissar do? The old man does not answer. He tilts his silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass through his legs. The lieutenant speaks softly. His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the commune.
Scientific communism.
The tracksuit-clad old man is suddenly reanimated.
A commissaire politique is a knight philosopher of the revolution. A future human.
Inland Empire, medium success. He was like a cleric, a shepherd. So, you were like a priest?
No,
He shakes his head.
the opposite of that. A future human, not a human of the past.
It's trying to make it even more obvious, right? Trying to make it clear what they're saying here. That means you're a trained communist, right? Of course, all that is assuming my interpretation is correct, right? So like we were talking about earlier, there's a lot of ways you could interpret this, I'm assuming. That means you're a trained communist, right? He nods slowly. Then another tremor. Point to yourself. I'm also a communist. I'm not really into politics myself. Say nothing. I'm also a communist. New skill point. Level up.
No, you're not.
He coughs.
You're a liberast.
Liberast? No, I really am a communist. I have communist thoughts in my head. Okay, maybe I'm not. Liberast.
A liberal and a pederast is what most liberals are.
Yep, that's me. I'm not a liberal. I told you, I'm a communist. Let's go with that. Detective. The lieutenant gives you a stern look. We have not come here to discuss ideology. He then turns to the old man. We have to ask questions regarding a murder investigation. I do love this exchange, though. Right? As someone who's not terribly well versed in this, level of political rhetoric, sometimes I don't know. It hits a little close to home, I guess. In that sometimes, I don't know, I don't fucking... I'm just not that good at it or whatever, right? I'm dumb and unlearned. Alright. Continue. Your heart being in the right place, can that get you as far as you need to be getting? I don't know. The old man spits into the fire pit. He does not say anything more. A jitter passes his lower body. Endurance, easy success. There's definitely something off with his body. Something more than just metabolism or even cancer. I have another serious question for you. Oh. Oh, wow, that was all under Who Are You? Fuck me. Interesting, a composure check. Okay.
There is nothing serious in this world.
He looks at the gun in your hand.
It's a farce.
What have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Half-light, easy success. Here we go. A trail of blood. The lieutenant smells it too. Killing people.
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism. Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. The lieutenant nods. During or after the war?
There is no after the war.
He shakes his head and smiles, his teeth rotten black.
Class war is never over.
Rhetoric, easy success. Go in straight, no euphemisms. He doesn't like those. Hand-eye coordination, easy success. No, be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Suggestion, trivial success. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal. So, you're saying you killed people after active fighting stopped. Did you use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor Krenel? I know you want to tell me. Have you killed anyone with that gun in the last week or two? Wait, so which one do I say then? Let's go with that. Nothing comes to you. Silence. His black eyes look at you. Shivers. Easy success. And in them, a chill. Like electricity running up your spine. Crawling into your skull. What? All is not as it seems. What the fuck? Detective? The lieutenant turns to you with well-disguised impatience. Esprit de corps, medium success. Damn it, ask it already. He wants to say. Did you use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor Krenel? We're being direct. Okay, fair enough.
Who now?
He leans in and cups his ear. The corpse in ceramic armor, hanging behind the whirling in rags. Did you shoot him? The fascist death squad who took a bullet in the mouth on the night of March 4th. His name was Lely. He was part of a security detail here in Martinez. A beautiful, strong man sent here by the honorable private military company, Krenel. Jesus Christ. You know who I mean. The fascist death squad who took a bullet in the mouth on the night of March 4th.
Oh, yes. That one.
He looks up at the sky and clacks his tongue.
Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him? The lieutenant takes a sudden step toward him. New task. Extract a confession from the deserter.
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol.
He spits a big one at the lieutenant's feet.
I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts at the liberal regime.
I don't know what that word is. Pederasts? I don't know what that is. I've never seen that before. Should I just look that up real quick on my phone? Let's do it. Fuck it. Let's see. This could be important. Let's see. There we go. Sorry. Very old phone. Very slow. Well, thanks, Google. A man who indulges in pederasty. Oh, God! Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. That's why the words are so similar. Fuck me. Ugh. A pedophile. Okay. Jesus Christ. Half-light, medium success. Tear into him. Pile it on him. Everything you got on him. The more, the better. Perception, smell, trivial success. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There is something you can't remember. Visual calculus, medium success. Something about the tracks. Suddenly all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first. I don't need your corroboration. I've got this. Show him the Triangong 446. We've done the ballistics. Point to the tower. The shot came from this island. Come on, what am I forgetting? Hit yourself on the side of the head. Okay, let's back off for a moment. Tell me this. Should we do a quick composure roll? It doesn't seem terribly important. Let's see. Ooh. Oh yeah, he did tell us his name near the beginning, didn't he? Huh. Let's see. Let's assess the body language. It's very low, but we may as well roll. Nothing. Composure, legendary failure. For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble, who spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit. That's it? Squint at him. He's clearly a drug user of the painkillers sort, prone to erratic hand gestures, and malnourished. But that's it. The moment passes, and you say, "One more time, Mr. Dross, the Colonel. We need to talk about you killing him." Let's go back.
Petty bourgeois law.
He snorts and spits.
This is all you care about, right? The only thing in the world for you types.
Perception, sight, medium success. Oops, my bad. A drop of blood in the saliva. Half-light, easy success. Tear into him again. Pile it on. Okay, here we go. We've done the ballistics. Point to the tower. The shot came from this island.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascists.
A jitter passes him.
Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top faller to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. The lieutenant softens his voice. You've been here a long time, Mr. Droz. Too long. You clearly need medical aid.
I'm ready to die.
The man interrupts him, then coughs.
I've done my part.
Rhetoric, medium success. He's practically admitting to it. Dead, fascists, for fascist, done his part? You said fascists. You're admitting you killed him. It's the best uninterrupted line of sight into that window in all of Martinez. You're admitting you killed him?
You're sad for your fascia brother, aren't you?
Is that how you say that?
One twig got broken. Now the others are dead. Or sad.
And he waves his hand. There's a twitch, then one more in his right eye. Suggestion, easy success. Almost. He almost burst out there. Keep piling arguments. Anything. I don't need your cooperation. I've got this. Show him the Triangong 446. Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun.
He points to your sidearm.
Not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that, jumping hoops with the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons, huh?
He chortles.
Going against automatic rifles with a flame bomb. Of course you got all those boys killed.
Half-light, trivial success. Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. Volition, easy success. So he saw you. Okay, so what? Don't let it divert you. We saved a lot of them. Their leader, Titus, we handled the situation. Stop changing the subject. We have the murder weapon. Point to it. Okay, then, concede. Now, I kind of want to divert. I kind of want to hear what he has to say. We saved a lot of them. Their leader, Titus, we handled that situation. Oh, lost morale for that.
You didn't handle anything. I watched it happen. You let those fucks rip right into them. Got that girl killed too. None of those people mean anything to you. The vultures feed on this city, and you prepare the meal for them.
Rhetoric, medium success. You're getting diverted. Push the gun. Only the gun matters. So you watch the fight. The lieutenant points inland. Did you like what you saw? The mayhem? It was all your doing, your plan. You got them killed.
You don't know anything.
A twitch runs across the left side of his face as he stares the lieutenant down. Let's heal up here. Just in case. We got plenty. Stop changing the subject. We have the murder weapon. Point to it. You know what? The lieutenant looks at the weapon demonstratively. You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? Dramatically ask. You think we have the murder weapon? I'm calling it. We have the murder weapon. Dramatically ask. 446. Jacketed ammunition. Modified for range. He lists. We have it. This is it. I'm calling it. We have the murder weapon. Task complete. Find the murder weapon. 70 XP. Good. The lieutenant takes out his notebook and draws a single line. This feels good, doesn't it? Tying things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
The old man does not say more. He just glances into the reeds and then twitches once more. Volition challenging success. Like a marionette on some invisible string. Suggestion easy success. This pushed him, but not enough. Just a little more. Come on, what am I forgetting? Hit yourself on the side of your head. Ooh. Made me jump a bit, it was loud. Logic trivial success. Wait, here it comes. The damn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Claus's roof. My head hurts now. Who cares? There may be bells in the grass when you... There were Maybells in the grass when you got here, and on Claus's balcony. Ooh. Reaction speed, trivial success. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Claus's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up. Of course. Thank you, head. Thank you. Ow. Yes, ouch. So good it hurts. Those were not modern prints. Endurance, easy success. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal. There were Maybells behind the victim's window. Show him the dried flower.
Damn Maybells.
He looks at the blossoming field behind you.
The whole island is turning white with them.
Empathy, easy success. He seems tender suddenly, nostalgic even. A strange mood swing.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. Now it's already here. Wash the filth away.
I haven't seen these flowers anywhere else in Martinez. Only here.
They blossom on the islets before. We fertilize them with our blood.
He looks to the water.
Revachol was snow white in May, for they ruined it.
Shivers, easy success. South, the Bay of Martinez is dotted with little freckles of islets, turning green with white flowers and white snow.
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. The lieutenant's voice is soft, friendly. Do you know any secret paths, pinball workshops?
I may.
A curious tremor passes his face. A young woman called Clausia. Ring any bells? These dried flowers were behind her window. Continue.
Clausia.
Suggestion, formidable success. He repeats the name with care, as if it were at risk of breaking. You like that name, don't you? She had intimate relations with the victim, the mercenary.
With the victim.
He turns his sight from the whitening field of flowers and falls silent. Then the muscles in his jaw twitch, a spasm. Logic, easy success. Don't leave any loose ends. Get him on everything. I wonder what brand of boots you're wearing?
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa.
He looks at his running shoes covered in mud.
Some shit.
Show me the soles, please, Mr. Dross.
Fucking imbecile.
The old man stretches out his leg. A black and white spiral pattern covers the sole of the worn-out, old running shoes on his feet. Perception sight, easy success. The maker is called Sansa Reek. You see their V-shaped logo, but can't make out the size. Do you think maybe he saw Clausia and Lely together and thought that he was raping her or something like that? And then he fired to, like, try and save her or something? I don't know. Huh. But he would have had seen them doing it many times before, right? Because that wasn't the very first time that they had their, like, weird drug orgy or whatever, right? Visual calculus, easy success. These are not the unusual horizontal pattern shoes you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size. The size fits, but not the sole. The lieutenant comes to the same conclusion. Drama, easy 9. Wait, maybe it's simpler than that. 42%. Should we pop a point in real quick? We have 4. We may as well, right? Let's pop a point in. 58. Because I don't think it is important that we get him on this too, right? But we may as well. Or at least attempt to. Drama 2, even 58%. Wait, maybe it's simpler than that. Nailed it. Drama, easy success. Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now. People change shoes. It doesn't mean you weren't there, near the room the victim died in, sneaking around.
Racking those brains, are you?
He squints at you, black pearls gleaming with hatred.
Desperate to report back something back to your masters. They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. 5 XP. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent, suddenly. Some strange process within him. A gush of wind, seagulls in the distance. He suddenly jerks to life.
You know who he was? A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer, dripping with blood.
He was a rapist. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. He was a killer, but he was still under protection of the law. He was a soldier too. He was a man. Did we know whether or not he raped people when he was doing his other shit, right? I can't remember who it was that, like, openly admitted to it. Or it was openly revealed to have been. He was definitely a killer. I think he wasn't he? Right? Because wasn't that what's his name? Cordy said, was that he would sometimes, Lely would sometimes take people from villages that they were attacking or were nearby and would take, like, ones that he thought weren't half bad looking and have his way with them. Yeah. I think he was. He was a rapist. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it.
Beating us to the ground, moaning with joy.
He breathes in with strange animation.
You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention.
He looks you dead in the eye, pupils shaking.
Now, you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now, you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
He breathes through flared nostrils. Right, yeah, exactly. This is what we touched on a while back, right? How, like, of course people here, generally, before now at least, fucking hated the cops because they were ignored, right? No one came to help them when they needed it and shit. Rhetoric. Medium success. This is it. Shot him, shot him. Say shot him, not killed him. So you shot him.
Oh, the inhumanity.
He closes his black eyes.
One paramilitary less in Revachol.
You can almost see him squeeze a tear out of his eye. His fists begin to tremble from the anger. Sorry, I need to take a drink. We've been going extra long. Sorry about that. The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you. Esprit de corps. Easy success. Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling. Hold your breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them. In phase. And I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth.
He begins to smile.
I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death and that stupid look on his face.
The smile quivers.
And his dick still in her.
Electrochemistry medium success. There. A hot flash of rage almost carries the smile away. Some dark peace. Then what? Man, electrochemistry got grim there, huh? Uncharacteristic. Deserter.
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning, there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white. Or what's left of it anyway. My last spring year. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own. And so they did.
The lieutenant just looks at him for 1, maybe 2 seconds, then breaks the silence. Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder? Task complete. Extract a confession from the deserter. 70 XP, level up.
Yes.
A single word is all he gives. The lieutenant takes out his notebook slowly, very slowly. And you were looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him. The old man nods. Why?
Because That's what they were doing.
He shrugs, then smacks his lips. Logic, easy success. The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from. Suggestion, easy success. You can coax it out of him. The lieutenant's preparing the ground. New task, extract a motive. I don't understand. He turns to you. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part. Why were you looking at them that night?
I'm always looking.
He cocks his head to the side, then turns his eyes to the city. Another tremor passes his right side, lower in intensity. Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? He explains. I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle's scope has the best magnification.
Half-light, easy success. Helps him see all the shit. And if you don't like it, if it's part of the shit you see, then you pull the trigger?
Yes.
He looks at the lieutenant in the eye.
Think of it as a form of critique.
Suggestion, medium success. Start with when he first saw him. It will give him a chance to ramble. Holy shit. We have a lot of shit here, huh? Okay. When did you first see the deceased?
3 weeks ago, when the rich hag came in on her galley. Her honor guard came in tow.
Rhetoric. Medium success. Joyce. He means Joyce. Rich hag? By that you mean Joyce Messier. The Wild Pines rep?
Wrinkled up whore.
He nods. Whore. Good, strong word. I use it often myself. What is it with these whores and pederasts? Or pederasts? Aren't you a communist? Cough. Moving on. The victim arrives sometime after her. I mean, this seems a little naive, doesn't it? Because just because someone agrees with a lot of your politics doesn't mean they're not necessarily... I don't know. Let's go with this, though. It's a very interesting line to delve into. Aren't you a communist?
Lax sexual morals are a bourgeois ploy.
He gargles a spitball.
As to pederasty, the party legalized it in '04. My party, not your liberal masters.
He spits it out on the dying coals.
So don't you sermonize me, you racist shithole.
He adds,
It's still bourgeois when the bourgeois does it, fiddling with their sexual organs.
electrochemistry, easy success. Some strange glandular process takes place in him at the thought, like yeast rising. Half-light, easy success. And anger, too, in addition to the loneliness. The lieutenant coughs. Cough. Moving on, the victim arrives sometime after her. Also, Jesus Christ at this little factoid up here? Yeah. Fucking A. Alright. Moving on. The victim arrives sometime after her. He nods toward the city.
They moved into a deserted apartment above the roundabout. Radio equipment out for all to see. Reactionary radio playing. Sloppy and drunk. I've seen their kind during the landing. Those Occidental and Mesque phalanges weren't conscripts. Boys like us. They were whites. All they know is to destroy and hurt.
What a fucking play on words. Whites.
Barely alive. They like to kill while they're on their drugs. After the landing in the burning years, I would take shots at them. End them. The worst ones, if I had a bullet to spare. I could see they've returned now to show their real face. The face they don't dare show their bourgeois voters back on Mundai with their families in polyester clothes.
What specifically did you not like about what you saw the night of the murder?
Them fucking.
He looks at the charred wood.
I didn't like that.
So you were jealous?
Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself, drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die, so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted her to see his head explode.
He nods.
That, too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head.
He squints.
Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But
He shrugs.
you can't have everything.
Electrochemistry challenging success. Her body sweating from the drugs, slick from cerebral hemorrhage. Volition easy success. This man has seen past her, like you did. Suggestion easy success. And now he longs to see her covered in blood. Authority trivial success. To punish her. How long had you been watching her? You wanted to punish her, so you killed him. You had feelings for that woman. You wanted to punish her, so you killed him.
She practically breastfed that man. You wouldn't believe the things she let him do to her.
He shakes his head and stares at the ashes. Inland Empire easy success. You stare at them too. In your mind, her innocence Dolores Day still turns to leave. Airport bag in hand, silks flowing in her wake. The dream. This has got nothing to do with that. Try to forget it. Let's give in. The dream. See you tomorrow, Harry. Her voice rings in the evening air, burning. You saw through her. So did I. She did deserve a good punishing. I hate women too, you know. I'm not like that. I don't think like that. Men are insane. Shake your head. Say nothing. I mean, we saw through her in a different way, right? That's in reference to the volition check. I'm kind of curious as to what he'll say here. I'm down for either 1 or 5 here. I'm kind of down with 1 because that ties back into our wild check that we passed with Clausia. Huh. Let's go with 1. You saw through her. So did I.
You're delusional. There's nothing to see in the soul of the bourgeois woman. It's the same as the surface. Sick hedonism and desperation.
Men are insane. Shake your head.
The world is insane.
He raises his gaze. Something glimmers in there. Then it's gone. How long had you been watching her?
Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning behind the Feld building.
The buoy.
It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving.
Past the Feld building, on the coast. What was she doing there?
Hiding something in the water. She'd had a cigarette after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
Electrochemistry, easy success. And beautiful. And beautiful. What do you think she hid there? I like this because it ties into our thing where he was attracted to her, right? And beautiful.
That too.
He nods. How could you see what she looked like? You said it was dark.
The sun came up. Her hair was like cobwebs. She smoked more cigarettes and snorted a line of whatever shit she was on. Right there.
He shakes his head.
She needed it just to move.
What do you think she hid there?
Her passport and tickets to Villiers.
He coughs.
And from there to Geisha Broom.
This is the hidden buoy she told us about. You looked into it. Oh, did he take the stuff from it? He's why there was nothing inside, huh? Huh. Okay. Yeah, of course. Okay. He nods.
After she was gone.
Did you keep what was in it? When we found the submersible, it was empty.
No. Why would I do that? I didn't need tickets to Villiers. I put them back. If I wanted to extort someone, I'd do better.
Rhetoric, medium success. This implies that he's thought about extorting her. Are you sure? We checked the submersible. There was nothing there. Moving on, did you continue watching her after this? Yeah, what the heck? I completely forgot about that, right? Because remember we had a theory that maybe it was Elizabeth when she left for the coast, or then we figured maybe it was Ruby who did it if she was working with Clausia? Yeah, I totally forgot that the shit wasn't in there. Huh. Are you sure? We checked the submersible. There was nothing there. Maybe it's just like circumstantial shit, like maybe one of the kids or something. He looks to the reeds, confused.
Why would I need that trash? I'm not going to Villiers.
Moving on, did you continue watching her after this?
I did.
He almost smiles.
She had a face like an archipelago with those birthmarks, and a body hard and lean and bruised all over, black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too.
He nods.
A spook on the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo, and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
Visual calculus, medium success. The bruises. You can't make that out in a scope. And you could see her bruises through the scope of her rifle.
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur.
He shakes his silver gray beard. Reaction speed challenging 12. How does he know those minute details about her body? Ooh, high chance. Reaction speed 2, high, 72%. Footprints in the dust. Could have changed shoes. Found the peephole. Should we roll at 72? How many points we got? Let's pump a point into reaction speed, our final one. Just to get as high as we can. 83%. How does he know those minute details about her body? Success. Reaction speed challenging success. It quickly comes to you. The bruises on her body. Any chance you've seen them through a hole in a wall?
Oh, yes.
He smacks his lips.
Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating.
Electrochemistry easy success. Everything in him fills with impossible longing all at once. Did you make that hole? 5 XP.
With a clip-point knife.
Jesus Christ. Huh. Okay. And here we thought it was just, like, random happenstance, right? Ever see her through a window? On a roof?
Like that too, yes.
He nods.
Bending like a bow against the glass.
You've been through the secret route behind the whirling in rags. Those were your footprints there. You just changed your shoes. Move on.
I've been through all of Monet's. Every nook and cranny.
And that too. 5 XP.
Yes, that too.
He shakes his head, almost in awe.
The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good.
He explains.
Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside and it gets so dark out you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
He keeps shaking his head. Rhetoric medium success. Those two took the cake. You hear a familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you. My morale. Esprit de corps easy success. One more loose end down. We're doing this, detective. Then, at the man. How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop?
I can just walk in there now, after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
He would have needed a key, though. You had to open the steel door in the kitchen. How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
He points toward the whirling in rags. Interfacing medium success. And he found a use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the union box window. You had feelings for that woman. He sighs.
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
Perception sight medium success. The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have an eye on something there.
He looks to the city.
It's weakness, I know.
There have been others. Was that why you left the dried flowers behind her window? One more thing about this woman. Can we exhaust this? I think we can. There have been others?
Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian to feel something.
Was that why you left the dried flowers behind her window?
No.
He starts to shake his head again. A sunflower on a withered stalk. Why then?
I don't really know. I was there one night, and she was crying like a child in the corner of her room on the floor, like she does sometimes.
When was this?
The day after I'd killed him.
And you brought her Maybells?
Yes.
He looks at the charred logs.
I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
Volition challenging success. It's as if something put the thought there to leave the flowers. You wanted to console her. You wanted to manipulate her. Something put the thought in you. A compulsion. Say nothing. You wanted to console her? Or should we go with the volition check here? Sure, let's go with volition. Why not? Something put the thought in you. A compulsion.
What do you mean, put?
He raises his eyes. They're round and wide. Empathy, easy success. A brief flash of terror. Huh. I just get this feeling. From what you said, do you agree? Nothing. Do you agree? 5 XP.
Maybe.
He lowers his head and just stares at the logs.
I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you.
Half-light, easy success. A sudden pang of rage.
If you came here 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
He wipes his eye. In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you once more. Esprit de corps, easy success. One more down. So in conclusion, it wasn't about him, it was about her.
Her.
He repeats, staring at the ashes. Then the reeds. There's a twitch in the corner of his eye. Task complete, extract a motive, 70 XP. Level up. Man, we're getting so much shit done here, right? And probably intentionally so. That way we can, like, if need be, we can pour more points into checks we really want to pass here during this. The lieutenant nods at you in an acknowledgement. Esprit de corps, easy success. That's it. Motive. We have it. The old man looks at you, suddenly remembering.
Where is she? That Clausia. I haven't seen her there for days.
We arrested her. I'm not at liberty to say. We arrested her.
Locked up with your masters like I'll be. Maybe we'll meet.
He looks to the city.
She kept staring into the scope, you know, in the end. Like she knew. Staring at the island, the fort, like she knew I was here.
He adds to no one in particular.
It doesn't matter.
Shivers, easy success. Across the harbor, on the south bank of the river Esperance, the air stands still outside Precinct 57. A 2-story box of duraluminum near the gates to Terminal H. Look east. Inside, a cell. A young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and alcohol, all at once, while two men in brown suits wave ICP badges at a young policeman. She hears the door open and knows it's over. They've come for her. Outside it's springtime. The river flows blue and green into the Bay of Martinez. Esprit de Corps, medium success. There, on a dilapidated jetty in a nameless village, 2 police officers and 1 special consultant look across a narrow strip of sea. The ruins of a sea fort stick out of the water, built by Philippe II, reappropriated by the Commune, then lost in the landing. He's there, doing what exactly, I don't know. Ooh, Satellite Officer Vicmare points at the ruins. Behind that anti-aircraft something. That's why we can't see him. Special Consultant Heidelstam is optimistic. We'll see the boat when he comes. Let's go get a coffee until then. I know this interesting little place where... His voice trails off as the 3 walk down the jetty. What if that's who we were being watched by? What if it wasn't the old man who was watching us? What if it was the fucking cops? God, what the fuck? Are they like super corrupt with, what's it called, La Puta Madre? Are they gonna come after us or something? When we, like, land back? What the fuck? As the men go, Patrol Officer Minot looks back over her shoulder at the crumbling fortification, like a rotten tooth rising out of the water. Empathy, easy success. Good luck, Harry, she thinks. You need something good for this. We could get more. The lieutenant uses the opportunity to tell you, in a lowered voice, we've got him talking. Suggestion, easy success. You could get more out of him. He likes talking. Physical instrument, easy success. Enough. Take him in. Bend his arms behind his back and end this. Can I quick save right here, right now? Or hard save? No. Okay. Been looking at anything else you haven't liked? We could do this again. Been looking at anything else you haven't liked?
A tragic comedy.
He shakes to life.
Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
Half-light, medium success. Detest pushes the cobwebs out of his eyes. Pushes the melancholy aside. He relishes it. More specifically?
Specifically, the whole city is a carnal hostel.
Is it spelled differently there?
Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez.
He shakes his head in grave disgust.
Martinez is the worst.
How come?
Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries.
He points inland.
Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a social democrat who runs it.
Mr. Clare?
Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class.
Anything more? Let him finish, do not interrupt. Same here. Let's just let him go.
Not since the serfs of ancient Paracarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the modern day's proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. In tents, like animals.
He points to the church.
Like those boom-boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs.
He keeps shaking his head with sorrow for the sight he missed. That all? Nod. That all?
The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucriant on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her garden-toting porcelain men are dead. So actually, no. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too.
Renee.
Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozone, or Kriamurain, or some other island they've built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children.
Say nothing.
That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old Count Frizzle is now dead.
Now I have some questions about this. Just nod. If I just nod, will you just keep going? Let's just nod.
We did good when we pushed them under that horse car. If only, in the 30s, those disco whores.
What follows is ominous mumbling. You cannot make out a single word. Half-Light, trivial success. The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter. Physical instrument, challenging success. What was that about steroids? It piqued your interest. Volition, formidable success. Ask about that cock-on parade, too. Make sure you get everything here. Disco whores?
Whores,
Is all he says. Even that word has to be pushed through his teeth with great force. The rage seethes too hard. And the racist at the gates, pumped full of steroids?
Yes, steroids. A racist on steroids.
You mean Measurehead, right? What is your opinion on him?
What is my opinion? You think the rich man has an opinion on this idiocy? Is the rich man on the radio telling you his opinion? No.
He answers for you.
The rich man's looking at real estate, fiddling his kids, wading through the corpses.
Rhetoric, medium success. Yes, but he was there. Why was he there if you can't have an opinion? Then why was he there? You're right. I too am a level-headed moral person, unaffected by Measurehead. What the fuck? I, for one, do have an opinion on Measurehead that people need to hear, and it's not positive. Did you notice that he is not point toward the general area of your face? Then why was he there?
Scratching away at the race question. You moral intern monkeys keep the conversation going on Channel 4, helping the rich man conduct his swindle with this inanity. You think the rich man cares about your little race games? He rules the whole world, and he laughs at your moral soliloquies.
He stares into the dead embers. You mentioned the Union is social democratic, and Mr. Clare is a farce of a social democrat.
Another hideous disappointment.
He pokes at the ash.
Unions are the real enemy, the true enemy of the proletariat, placating the masses.
Rhetoric medium success. Disappointment. So personal. He displays a familiarity with the Union's top brass. Who's a disappointment? Everett Clare?
That deformed toad, I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean the brains of the operation. The smart one.
Doesn't Everett run the Union?
That mobster toad couldn't run a shit house. He has no political education. His twin, Edgar Clare. That's the one. That one's been to one of those East Revachol universities. He talks a big game about uprising and alienation and so on.
Suggestion medium success. He's been sweet-talked by this Edgar. They must have met in person for such animosity to have developed. We're not the first people you've met from the city, are we? Okay, got it. We're not the first people you've met from the city, are we?
You can't live alone.
He's stopped poking at the ash now. Just shakes his head. The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing. Logic. Easy success. Of course. Maybe the Clares asked him to. Suggestion medium success. Don't go straight for the kill. Exhaust everything else first. Soften him up. Have you approached them?
I haven't approached anyone. I've hid. It was Edgar who came to me.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf.
He nods to you.
He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. I told you, he has brains.
He points to the path leading to the tower.
Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left. Wouldn't rat me out.
He shrugs.
I was right about one of those things.
When was this?
20 years ago. Neither of them could walk now, could they? They were less fat then.
What did you talk about?
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects. Like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Mazov. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Mazov.
He suddenly remembers.
Oh, and charity too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought.
And he let you be here.
Let me be here?
He looks around.
The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the loyalists. Even the Clares understand this.
Rhetoric medium success. They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy? Mr. Drost, did you kill the Krenel mercenary for the Clares? to incite a riot? Proceed.
You know why I killed that fucker droid?
He shakes his head.
As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
Again. What have you done for Edgar before?
Tried teaching him some Mazovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
He coughs. Rhetoric, medium success. Okay. He didn't do the hanged man for them, but he's insinuating something. Huh. Logic, legendary 14. What was the deal between him and Edgar? Huh. +2, talk to Everard about previous forewoman. Oh, he's the one who made the forewoman go missing, remember? Oh, shit. I bet that's exactly it. Let's put a point in. If we fail it, it's like no big deal, I think. Because I think we've figured it out. What was the deal between him and Edgar? Failed it. Logic, legendary failure. Oh no, the connection doesn't come to you. It's such a pivotal moment. Authority, easy success. Dumbo, do something. You can't zone out now. This isn't doodle-loo dance time. Pain threshold, easy success. Slap yourself in the head again. Jump start it. Wait. It was about him meeting Edgar and a deal. Something with the union boss. Punch yourself in the head. Fuck it, let's literally punch ourselves in the head. Officer. The lieutenant watches you beat yourself in the head again. The second time in this interview. Mr. Dross, about this deal you made. He turns to him. With Edgar, the death of the Krenel mercenary was only coincidentally beneficial to the Clares. But, he leans closer. What about the other people you've killed for them?
Other people?
Like the previous forewoman of the Union. That's it! That's what you weren't connecting yourself. Man, so the lieutenant has a logic, passed a logic legendary, huh? Maybe? Or maybe it wasn't legendary for him. He wags a finger at him.
I didn't fight 40 years to end up an informant for the international regime. What happened, happened.
Perception, sight, medium success. Still dumb, your eyes are transfixed on his digit. It's yellow, with nicotine. Authority, easy success. You are the law. He must divulge the information. Kim, we're not solving this part. What do we do? You fucking killed the previous foreman. I know it. What should we go with? Let's consult the lieutenant. We're not solving this part. What do we do?
Look who's up.
He grins at you.
From the drunken stupor. This one's worse for wear than me. Emotionally frayed. Life is hard for us human beings in deregulation hell, isn't it?
We will have plenty of time to talk about this later, Mr. Dross. The lieutenant does not let him gloat. When you're in pre-detention, it can take years in pre-detention.
Go ahead.
The straggler closes his gap-toothed smile.
I've been in solitary confinement my whole life.
Volition, trivial success. Ease off it. This was not an unmitigated disaster. The lieutenant mitigated it. Just proceed calmly. By the cock parading in his colorful uniform, you mean Renee?
Every fucking morning. For 34 years.
He grinds his teeth in rage.
Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June. Royalist ghouls play it like it was life itself.
Click.
Click clack.
He makes the sound of balls connecting.
Across the water each day, in that uniform, like a parrot's plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A pandonk maniac race traitor.
Just nod. No, I don't know about. Whoa, let's back off before you get too agitated. Let's just let him talk, right? Let him keep spilling his guts. Just nod.
I remember him.
He points to his black eye.
I remember him from La Noche. Not him personally. His make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one.
With his shaky finger, he points to the city, toward the crater, near the plaza, where a lonely pine tree stands.
That one. Fat and plump, like a pheasant, just begging to be popped off.
A grin stretches across his face, and he whispers,
Please, Mr. Dro, shoot me.
Half-light, easy success. He whispers with such predatory hunger, it borders on longing. You'd like to kill him? The smile lingers.
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bonbon melt in my mouth.
Electrochemistry medium success. A treat. Better served for later. He's a pleasure delayer. Save the treat for later?
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat. For the black day, the blackest, when I put the gun in my own mouth. I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lad in that cock Renee. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls and I suddenly feel.
He lets out a wistful sigh.
Better. I haven't hit one bullet, so I'd always have one for him.
The lines on his face straighten as he looks inland.
Haven't seen him around lately. Strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
But he's dead. You missed it. Suggestion, easy success. Hearing it may destabilize him. You sure you've gotten everything from him? Shit, should we back off then? Yeah, let's back off. Tell me something else, Mr. Dross. 5 XP.
Yes, of course.
He mutters to himself.
Must be passing a kidney stone. Hope it's excruciating. At least it keeps him from throwing his balls.
Empathy, trivial success. He seems relieved. Could he have been worried for him? Suggestion, easy success. He reminds him of himself. The same hatred. The same... You try to think of another thing, but no. It's just the hatred. Esprit de corps, medium success. They're veterans of the same war. Somewhere west in Coal City, his enemy is lying in a dark room on a metal slider. In Lucere Municipal. Like he will too. Soon. Half of the war between these men is over. With an agitated gait, Satellite Officer Jean Heron Vicmare paces the jetty, 22 kilometers east in Martinez. What could he possibly be doing there for so long? He says. Police work. Police work? Patrol Officer Judy Minot replies, with a tinge of hope in her voice. A tinge of warmth, too, against the cold air rising from the water. So we can bring this up later. I'm glad we talked about this now. And then we can arrest him. Jesus Christ. Can we do it that's all for now? Will this progress things? Oh look, I'm glad we talked about this. Now.
Glad it's all gone.
He stares at the dust at his feet. Gray and dirty spring grass all over. Can we come back to him? Because holy shit, we've gone on for a long time and my voice is getting hoarse, honestly. Alright. That's it for now, old man. Stay put.
I ain't going anywhere.
Oh my god. Okay, thank goodness. As thrilled as I am to be going through this, and we definitely are. Holy shit, my voice is legit getting hoarse. Especially with his voice and all that, right? So, when next we come back, we'll speak to him some more. And we'll have to be sure to delve into the shit with Renee and all that, right? Until next time, please, take care of each other.